The Georgian townhouse where John Constable spent the last 10 years of his life before his death in 1837 is on the market for an eye-watering £4 million. Before moving to the beautiful home in 1827, Constable spent every summer in desirable Hampstead with his family, including his wife Maria and son Charles. The 19th-century painter lived at Well Walk, a Grade II listed 4-bedroom home up until he died of heart failure at his studio on Charlotte Street in central London. Since 1923 there has been a blue plaque installed on the front wall of the home immortalising the time Constable and his family spent there. The property is now up for sale for the first time in 30 years for £4 million. However, average house prices on Well Walk are a slightly more modest £1,656,000. Although this is around 18 times more than the price of the average home in England, it's just a fraction of the price of Constable's most desirable paintings. In 2012, The Lock from 1824 was sold by Christie's for £22.4 million. Peter Brooks, head of residential at Savills Hampstead, said, "As the former home of such a major figure in English landscape painting, Well Walk is a truly special property and one of northwest London's most significant historical houses." Having lived at the address for the past 30 years, the current owner is now seeking to downsize nearby. The sale of Well Walk thus presents a rare opportunity to reside in an iconic house in a setting which inspired many of Constable's renowned works. Well Walk has 4 bedrooms, 3 reception rooms, a kitchen, bathroom, shower room, utility room, guest cloakroom and garden. The 5-story house boasts high ceilings, period features and double doors from the first floor drawing room which lead out to individual balconies that overlook the patio garden. Designed and built in the early 19th century, Well Walk is situated in one of Hampstead's most sought-after streets. It is lined with smart period buildings and just 200 metres from Hampstead Heath. Peter Brooks added, alongside its history, the property is positioned in the heart of Hampstead Village and has well-proportioned accommodation which a future buyer could further enhance. We expect its appeal to be far-reaching, taking in those seeking a family home with straightforward access to amenities, transport and great schools, as well as buyers captured by the prospect of living in the former home of one of the nation's greatest ever artists. While Constable is best known for his work in Suffolk, Hampstead became a great focus and he made numerous studies in the area. His artwork is on display at leading galleries worldwide including Tate Britain, the National Gallery and the V&A, as well as Yale Centre for British Art and the National Gallery of Art in the United States. An area of Suffolk is known as Constable Country as it is where he painted some of his most celebrated works. His most famous paintings include Vale 1802, The Hay Wain 1821, and Hampstead Heath with a Rainbow 1836. Flatford Mill. The mill was owned by John Constable's father, Golding Constable, and was the childhood home of the master painter. Milling continued at the property until the turn of the 20th century, but by the 1920s the mill needed repairing. The National Trust acquired Flatford Mill along with Willie Lott's house in 1943, and since 1946, along with Valley Farm since 1959, they have been leased to the Field Studies Council (FSC). Silwood Road. Constable lived and worked at this property in Brighton during the 1820s and is thought to have made about 200 paintings and drawings during his 4 years there. The property where Constable moved to ease his wife Maria's TB symptoms most recently sold for £475,000 in 2010 but is now considered to be worth £702,000. Hilland's House. Constable regularly visited Hilland's house in Epsom, Surrey, and lived there between 1809 and 1811. It was built in 1740 and owned by the painter's aunt and uncle, Mary and James Gubbins. This was following his first exhibition at the Royal Academy in 1802 and the British Institute in 1809. The home was most recently for sale in 2006 for a guide price of £2.25 million. Constable's work from the period includes View at Epsom 1809. Part of the Tate collection. The property has 3 bedrooms in the main building and a further section partitioned off into 4 self-contained flats.
Tell me where the freak's at.